Так, чи ми маємо трансляцію?
Okay, do we
Чи
have
можемо ми починати офіційне
translation?
засідання?
Can we start the official meeting?
Мгм. Так, я сподіваюся, що
Okay,
онлайн-трансляція
I hope
відбувається.
that online broadcasting is
Колеги,
also
добрий
happening
день.
as well. So, colleagues,
Розпочинаємо нове
greetings.
засідання.
This is the
Буде у нас
beginning of
офіційне.
the second
Конкурсної
official meeting
комісії,
for the
що
selection
яка має
commission
обрати
that
голову
has
Національного
to,
агентства України з питань виявлення
select the
порушень та
head
виявлення активами.
of
Це
the
державного корупційних та
National Commission
інших
for the Asset and
злочинів.
Recovery Management
У нас
Agency.
сьогодні
So
ряд документів
today we
має
have the
розглянути
series of
Україна.
documents
Це
that our
тому
commission needs to discuss
спочатку
and
я вам оголошую
accept. So
порядок
first and
денний
foremost, I
і
would
прошу
give you
колег
the full
підтримати
list of the
за
agenda,
порядок
and I
денний
would
на
ask my
сьогоднішнє
colleagues to
засідання.
support this
І так, у
order of
нас
things
ми
for the today's
піднімаємо,
meeting. So today we
можемо
have
затвердити
we
критерії
need
та
to discuss
методологію
and
оцінювання
approve the
кандидатів на посаду
criteria and
голови АРМА.
methodology of
Ми
assessment
маємо
of the
оголосити,
candidates
затвердити
to
порядок
become
проведення
the
конкурсного
head of the ARMA.
відбору
We also
на
have to
голову АРМи і
approve the order of
безпосередньо
the selection, and
затвердити
also we
оголошення
need
про
to
умови та строк проведення
announce
конкурсу
the
на
timelines and the
кандидата на
conditions
голову
to
АРМи.
do this
Тому у нас
competition to
три
become the chairman of
документи
ARMA. So these are
сьогодні
the
виносяться
three
на офіційне
main documents
засідання
that are
і відповідно в
officially
порядок денний,
in the
який
agenda, and
оголошую.
therefore
Який
the
я тільки
agenda
що
that we
говорила. Тому
preliminary had, just like I have
прошу
recently discussed.
виносити порядок
So
денний на
I would
голосування.
like to
І тому прошу
suggest that we
колег,
would do the
давайте
voting
по
for
черзі
this agenda
будемо
for the day. So
голосувати. Я
therefore, I
буду
would
по
ask
нашому списку
colleagues to
алфавітному членів
do
комісії.
the voting. I would follow the
Перший
alphabetic
пан
list of the
Вульф.
members of
Чи
commission.
ви
So the first
підтримуєте
person, Mr.
цей
Wolf,
порядок
will you
денний, який я
support the
пропоную?
agenda that I have just spoken of?
Yes, I support it, and I'm voting with yes.
Дякую вам велике.
Thank you
Далі,
very
пане
much.
Вульф,
Next
ваш голос за
person,
порядок
Mr.
денний.
Boot, how about your voice? Yes, I
Дякую.
support.
Пані Анжеліко.
Madame Angelica, I
Дякую.
support.
Пані Валентино.
Madame Valentina,
Голосую за.
my vote is yes.
Я теж підтримую порядок денний.
I am
І, будь
also
ласка,
supportive
пані
of this
Ріта.
agenda. And the last person, Madame Rita.
I vote for as well. Thank you.
Дякую. Пані
Thank you very
Анжеліко.
much, Madame Angelica. So following the results of the voting for the agenda of the official meeting of the Selection Commission, 6 members of commissions are in favor, nobody opposes, and nobody abstained. So the decision is adopted. Thank you. Thank you, Madame Angelica. Therefore, we do have the agenda now. Let's move from bullet to bullet. So bullet number 1 of our today's agenda is to set the criteria and methodology of assessment of our candidates. For our listeners altogether and for our potential candidates, let me just say a few more words. We've had the long meetings to discuss the methodology and criteria in our work meetings. We also want to say that we have publicized on the websites of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, and also we share the text of the draft in the social networks as far as methodology and criteria and order of the selection, and we allow the opportunity to comment and share the proposals of how to improve it. We did receive the proposals from 2 civic organizations, and we did take to consideration a majority of their suggestions. They had proposals that were more strategically bulky and more technical things. So I'm going to stop on just several important moments from them. Like, first of all, we have taken into consideration when we have dealt with some uncertainty from our methodology and criteria and documents in general. Where following the suggested text of the draft, we had some wording like other testing and other tests to go away from misunderstanding that we might have any unspoken additional stages. We have dealt with such words, and therefore for the candidates we would have the testing of legislation, cognitive skills testing, practical assignment, and the very interview itself. Definitely we would also have the different verification on the compliance of the documents and integrity, etc. But as far as the knowledge and skills, this is the only thing we do for testing. So no other stages the Commission is planning to introduce as for this time and date. Another thing that I would like to note, if we talk about the comments from the publicity that we received, there were also some stages regarding the test for knowing the legislation. So what were supposed to be the thresholds for the candidates to go from to next steps, just like we do the testing to know the legislation, we have set certain threshold. If the candidate does not cross the threshold, the candidate is not processed to the next stage. After the Commission on the work meeting, after we had a discussion, we made a decision to leave 33% threshold as it was suggested in the draft to make sure that that stage is completed so that the candidate might move further, but at the same time we take it necessary to explain our logics. The tests that are developed for the knowledge of legislation for this particular selection are developed from the scratch. We are not going to use any other questions, so this would be a brand new questions that are being developed just for this specific selection. And also, this database is developed by experts with Commission. We communicate with them, we advise with them, and in particular, they've been talking to us about the fact that considering the complexity of the questions and the peculiarity of this selection, of this competition, and different realms of questions related to legislation that we're going to have, it was their recommendations. Basically, they said that it would be good to set the threshold at the level of 33 to make sure we screen away the first stage of this selection. Let me just remind you that we have got other stages as well. So this is just the first portion, first test. So with the consideration of everything about mentioned, we as Commission made a decision to leave as is the threshold on the level as it was mentioned. We also had another recommendation regarding the publications of all of the database of tests right before the selection is opened. We as Commission, we made a decision that we would publicize only the examples of the testing questions to know the legislation. And once again, just because they are completely new, they were never in use, they are not in the public open space, etc. And therefore, some of the things are still neglected as far as access to the information, preliminary access for the select candidates. So the Commission, we keep to this idea that we have 33% as the threshold, and we also publicize the examples and templates. And another issue that was raised by the civic organizations and the experts was basically related to the publication and assessment of the practical assignments. In particular, we as a Commission, we have added and we have changed the wording in some of our documents somehow. We plan to publicize the answers to the practical questions as well as the assessment that will be done with engagement of the experts. They will be publicized. But once again, the Commission would take all that to consideration during the interviews. But as far as the public access to answers to the practical assignments and the grades, the Commission made a decision that it makes sense from the side of the community to take into consideration, and we took it to consideration. Another thing, another important things regarding some of the concerns is the opportunity to appeal some of the moments. What I mean is there could be some technical beds in the process of turning the documents and the order of testing. So this is also something that we have reflected in our document. So please take to consideration the final edition of the text that I hope that today we will approve. Colleagues, is there anything of the key importance questions that I have omitted. Is there anything that you would like to note of during this official meeting that we have? Do any of you have anything to add or any feedbacks? Thank you very much. In this case, with the consideration of all of the documents that I have just mentioned, I would suggest that we would vote one at a time, all of the documents, all of the prime documents that we have. Number one, I would like to suggest to vote about the criteria and methodology of assessments of the candidates for the position of chairman of ARMA. We will follow the same list and I will ask for your votes. Mr. Wolf, are you supportive of the existing text of our criteria and methodology?
Yes, I support it and I'm voting with yes.
Дуже вам дякую.
Thank you very much. Mr. Booth,
Який ваш
Я
голос?
голосую за,
Mm.
так.
I am supportive,
Дякую.
yes.
Пані Анжеліко?
Madam Angelica, I vote for.
Дякую. Пані Валентино?
Madam Valentina,
Текст методики та критерії.
the text of methodology and criteria I am supportive and I vote for. I'm also supportive of the text of methodology and criteria. And Madam Rita?
I also vote for. Thank you.
Дякую. Пані Анжеліко, вам
Thank
слово.
you. Madam Angelica, the floor is yours. Following the results of the vote regarding the confirmation of the criteria and methodology of assessment candidates for the chairman of the asset and asset recovery and management agency, the results are the following: supporting 6, against 0,
Чудово, дякую вам,
abstained
пані
0.
Анжеліко.
So the
Добре.
decision is made.
Перший документ
Madam Angelica, thank you very much.
офіційний,
Now that we've got the
саме
first official
головування
document
нашого
regarding the
кодексу
setting
роботи,
of the selection of our work, we already have it. So, colleagues, therefore, in similar way, I would like to suggest that we would vote for the second document, in particular, the order of the selection of the competition to assign the head of the National Agency for the Asset Recovery and Management. So let me suggest the following list. Mr. Wolf, will you be supportive of the assigned of the suggested order of the selection?
Yes, I am supporting it and I'm still voting with yes.
Дякую.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sergey,
Я за.
I am supportive.
Пані Анжеліко?
Madam Angelica, my vote yes.
Пані Валентино?
Madam Valentina,
Текст порядку проведення конкурсного
the text
відбору
of the
підтримую.
order
За.
for the selection, I am supportive
Я
of
теж
it. My voice is yes. I am also supportive of the text of the order. And Madam Rita, how about you?
I also vote for.
Дуже вам дякую. Пані
Thank you
Анжеліко,
very
вам
much.
слово.
Madam Angelica, the floor is yours. Therefore, following the results of the assigning of the order of the competition for the chairman of the Asset Recovery and Management Agency, my count is supporting 6. Nobody is opposing and nobody abstains. So the decision is made unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Angelica. In this case, we have got the second document that's voted. And today we have the last question of this meeting, which is the announcements regarding the timelines of the selection for the chairman position of ARMA. And prior to us voting for this announcement, let me just take to consideration several moments. First of all, we and the commission, as the commission, we want to suggest to our candidates to take 1 month to turn in all of the necessary documents so that they participate in our selection. The date for the terminal date for turning in documents is 19th of January. Let me take to consideration one very important moment. Since among the list of the documents that the Commission expects from the candidates, one of the documents is a certificate to confirm the knowledge of Ukrainian language. That's a state certificate. That's also a standardized document that we basically expect for candidates to turn in from any selection. So I hope that it's not going to be a surprise requirement to any of our candidates. Nevertheless, the National Commission from that does testing from the standards of knowledge of the state language. On the annual basis, such a commission in the vicinity of the New Year's holidays, they do the upgrades of all their systems. They do some technical maintenance to their software, which leads to the fact that basically for the whole month, which is 2 weeks at the end of the current year and the first 2 weeks in the beginning of the new year, they do not offer such service, where therefore there would not be a chance to undergo such a test and receive the certificate. Therefore, for those candidates who do not have such a certificate as for this time and date, it will not be possible to obtain such documents before the timeline for turning in documents is expired. In order to address this problem, for those people who do not yet have the certificates, we would suggest a little bit of an extended time, which is between the now and the 28th of February. They have the opportunity to turn in the certificates, which would allow the Commission to verify and make sure that all of our candidates comply to the requirement of the legislation on the position that we are selecting. Let me draw your attention. This is already mentioned in the order of the competition and also in the announcements, but I want to draw your attention to all of our potential candidates. If you do not have certificates right now, keep in mind that exclusively to get this document, you have a little bit of more time to obtain such a certificate. And we very much suggest to you, do not delay it, do not procrastinate it. And the only time you have, as soon as you have an opportunity, reach out to the National Commission and get your certificates ready. Other than that moment, that announcement is preliminary discussed. Therefore, the draft text of the members to the members commission was already accessible. So I would like to suggest the next vote. Therefore, I would like to put on vote the main announcements to this new selection to the position of the chairman of ARMA. So let's follow the classic list of members. Mr. Wolf, will you be supportive of the announcing of the text for the competition as you have preliminary seen?
Yes, I support it, and I'm voting with yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sergey, will you be supportive of the announcement of the competition? I am supportive of the text of the competition with all the comments that we have just heard. Yes, my voice is yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam Angelica, how about you? I am supportive of the text of announcements and my voice is yes. Madam Valentina? I support the text and my vote is yes. I'm also supportive of the text of the announcement of this competition, and we also need to hear the voice of Madam Rita.
Yes, I also vote for.
Thank you very much. Madam Angelica, floor is yours. Following the results of the voting regarding the announcements of the conditions and timelines for the competition to take the position of the National Agency for Asset Recovery and Management, for 6 members of the competition commission, the selection commission, nobody is against, nobody abstained. So another unanimous decision is made. Thank you. Once again, thank you very much to all of the members of commission. Thank you to Madam Angelica. As for this time, we have voted 3 documents: the methodology, the criteria of assessment, the order of running the competition, and official announcement of the competition. The announcement of the competition, all of these documents in the final wordings, in final words, will be posted both on the website of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, and especially the announcements of the competition would be printed in the paper media, and we would also have in electronic media announcements that on the web pages of the selection commission that we have, at least on Facebook and LinkedIn. So therefore, if necessary, please reach out to those sources to the text of the announcements and as well of all the other documents that we've been talking about. And therefore, generally speaking, our today's bullets of the agenda are already expired, so I would suggest that we would complete this sitting of the commission, and I would like to thank you very, very much of you, and thank you to this Secretariat of Cabinet of Ministry for helping us with the organizing of this official meeting. Have a good day, and till next meeting, goodbye. Thank you, have a good day, goodbye. Thank you to everybody, goodbye, colleagues.